Hello and welcome. This is Ruth and I've got kit number 82, the envelope die set from Tonic Studios. It's inside this little box and I'm going to open it up and we'll have a look at what's in here, and then I'm just going to make something with it as well. So it's the envelope die set, as I've said, and there we are. So you've got a little leaflet inside that shows you one of the sort of possibilities of the die set, and then when you open it up you'll see another configuration here, and then all of the items that are in this kit are listed here as well. Now, if you haven't already seen some of my videos, I've got a big playlist with loads and loads of kits on there, or you could just subscribe to my entire channel and you'll see lots and lots of crafting things as they come up. I'd really love you to do that too, if you would. And if you enjoy it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment. But don't forget, hit the notification bell, and that way you won't miss any of these as they come up. Right, let's have a look. Inside the box, first of all, you're going to get this little introductory leaflet that shows you what's inside. Then we've got this little wallet that goes inside a folder. Or is it the other way around? I never know which way. Is this a wallet or a folder or what? Anyway, you'll know the answer to that one. We've got the dies in here. The little sticker, I'm going to put that on first of all. So, Elegant Envelope Gift Card, this is called, and we'll just pop that right on there. And you can see two sets of dies and a little stamp set as well. Okay, yeah, we'll have a closer look at these first of all. I've already taken them out of their packaging just so that they don't glare so much, and I'll pop it over here to show you. So you'll see right away that we have some nesting rectangles. I always love nesting dies because that way you can use them for all sorts of other things as well as just this envelope set as well. And then this would make a lovely little pocket or something that you would just hinge at the bottom in a memory book, and you can slip something down into that. Well, maybe if I remember as I go through, I'll maybe show you a possibility with that. And then a beautiful debossing. This is probably the strap part, and these elements that have the debossing detail look absolutely fabulous if you use them on pearlescent or satin or mirror card or something like that. Anyhow, this is the main piece here which cuts out the envelope, and you'll be able to see that you can cut two of those and bring them together, and that will make a gatefold. And then we've got different pieces that go on the inside, and this beautiful decorative detail here that could most definitely be used on cards or other things as well. So hold on to all of that. Don't forget, whenever you've used up the card that's in this kit, you've got a long lifetime ahead of you with these dies, because you can use them with anything. You don't have to use those colours, and you can actually just mix and match them with some other nesting rectangles and different things like that too. You could make a beautiful frame with that one, with the outside edge here and then this scalloped part on the inside as well. That actually reminds me of a little, can you see that there? That reminds me of a little clock. You could maybe use that as a little carriage clock with a little circle in the middle for the face of the clock. Do you know, that one there actually even looks like a bigger one of the same thing. So we'll pop those aside, have a quick look at the stamps. I'll just hold on that on here. So we've got Sent with Love, and that's a little stamp with a postmark on it. Special delivery to a special friend, a little bit of love, and then this one, to and from. So those are just perfect for that. Now we're going to see what colours we have in here, and I'll check my list. I should know these all off by heart, but just in case I don't, you'll see they've got an A4 wallet as usual, and then we've got all of these in here. So let's see, I'll open this up just in case I slip up anywhere along the line. Cherry red first of all. So these are texture weave I'm showing you first of all. So we've got cherry red, we've got bally pink and fern green, and then you'll get two pieces, I think, of sea salt green. Yep, two pieces there, beautiful together. This then is actually not card at all, although it's in there. It's a double-sided adhesive sheet, so you'll be able to use that with intricate dies or actually all sorts of things. It's absolutely perfect for using with vellum as well. So that's that. Then we have two blue cashmere. That's these two, absolutely gorgeous. I really love that. I've used that a lot. It's beautiful with the sea salt green. It's a beautiful combination there as well. It's even nice with that pink. But anyway, I'm going to use all of those together at some stage. This then is, and this one I'm not too sure of, Obsidian Blue. And that's a satin mirror card. And then we've got 300 GSM ivory smooth card as well. So that's all of that. And then we've got this little package of stuff in here as well. So this is usually Craft Perfect or Nouveau. And we've got a fantastic little pair of scissors this time. So these are Tim Holtz scissors. They are mini snips and they're 5-inch, and they've got a little protector on there as well. Do you know what? I'm just going to open them up. I'm going to have a better look. Oh, another one on here. And there we are. Perfect, sharp little scissors. So we'll have fun using those, but don't forget they are actually quite sharp and pointy even there. So keep that little protector, and it just slips on over that little area there, and that'll keep them nice and safe and keep them out of the reach of children anyway, or pets even. And then we've got some gorgeous chalk mousse. Now I've put the thing away, so I'll just have to read it here. Delicate blue. Chalk mousse has a really, really beautiful finish off it. Chalk, of course, but it's a sort of like a whitey tinge to it. Really, really lovely through stencils or even just put on with a spatula. Then we have some crystal drops, and now these are gloss and they're carnation pink. So a very, very good colour to use with all sorts of things. And then shimmer powder, and if you haven't used this before, I'll just show you. When you take this out, do not squeeze that or loads of it will come out. You only need a tiny drop. You actually just tap it here gently, and then it comes onto the paper, and then you will spray that with water and it will just diffuse over the page. Absolutely beautiful. But I will either link to a video down below or I'll use some of that in this video. Either way, you'll see it in use. And then we've got a smooth precision pen here as well. So this is glue, and just lift it out, and I'll just show you here. Take that off. There it is. And there's a tiny little protective cap on that. I don't know if you can just see it. It's tiny, tiny. And you just take that off when you're about to use it. If you just want a tiny drop of glue, then all you need to do is just press down. Now that can actually be used as a pen, a glue pen, and you can certainly sort of write with that and sprinkle on glitter or whatever you want, because it's very, very, it'll give you a very, very fine application there, and you can just hold it like a pen, which makes it a lot easier to use as well. You don't actually need to put that little cap back on again. You can just leave that, keep this cap on very tightly, and look after your pen. Now I'm going to do some die cutting, and I'll be back in just a minute or two. So I have used the sea salt green, and I have cut it out twice with this die, and I've also cut out this shape here with this little die twice. So the idea is that you put these together and fold them over, and the backs will be joined. But I've gone ahead and made some of the decorative panels for that as well before I actually glue that together. So on these ones I have taken this little die and I've cut that out in ivory, and then I have cut this one and this together in the blue, and you can see how I've done it here. So there's the ivory piece, and then the two together make that. I'm going to glue those two together, glue them onto this in the same way as I've done with the other one, and then I'm going to attach those on here. So I'll just do that first, and then I'll come back and do those other bits. Now to decorate this little panel, I've taken this die and I've cut it out in ivory, and then I've used that one along with this one together, and I've cut it out in the blue obsidian, I think that's called, and I'm going to glue that onto that panel, and I've already got one glued onto the other panel. Now it's important just to keep these separate just at the moment until you get that this panel glued on, because obviously then you can attach these two together and that will cover that little panel, the glue panels at the back there, and keep it all nice and tidy for you. So glue that on there, just line it up, slide it over until you get it in exactly the right place, level with that. And I've already done the exact same thing on this side. Now this is where I'm just going to add the glue onto the back, because you'll see then that when I add this panel on here, it covers up those glue tabs at the back there, and that's what you're aiming for there. And then all this folds around at the front. I'm going to go ahead and make the gift card holder that actually has this in the center, and you open it all up like this. But at this stage you could actually just turn this into a pocket card and it would be really, really lovely. So if you fold those two over and tuck one of those little flaps in behind the other like that, and then put glue just around this edge here, making sure it doesn't go in here, you can glue that up, and then you've got a lovely little pocket card here. And you could add a little magnet on in behind there and one here, and then you'd be able to slip something in here. That would be really, really beautiful for a wedding invitation, or even gold and white or gold and cream or something would be really, really beautiful for that. It's not going to be able to sit up, but you can prop that up on your mantelpiece, and I know that works well for a lot of cards as well. But that's how you would do that just at this stage before you go any further. But I'm going to open this up and go ahead with this next bit. So I've taken the larger rectangle die, and then I've taken this, let me see, this little debossing die. So I have laid this on. I've cut the rectangle first of all with one of these dies in place here. So you can see it like that. And then I kept the outside rectangle on again because I didn't want to have the rollers putting that through the machine and flattening that piece again. So I kept this piece in place and then took this off and turned it round to meet up at this side, ran it through again, and you can see there on the pearlescent card how beautiful that embossing or debossing looks. It's really, really beautiful. Then I took the smaller die with a little scalloped edge and I've cut that out in the satin card, and I'm going to attach both of those together. But you can see that I've used double-sided tape on the back. With mirror card or satin or anything like that, I always find that you get a little tiny ripple in the card on the front side if you just glue that directly down. So that's why I'm putting it down with the tape, and it makes it a lot neater at the finish. I could probably have got away with it there because you may not have seen it in behind this debossed area, but certainly you would see it here. If you wanted to be really, really fancy, you could go ahead and use the same decorative detail that you've used on the outside there to do these panels as well. Now I've also cut this one out, and I've cut this out in ivory white smooth card, and that cuts little slits here, and that's where your little gift card is going to slide in. So that is going to get glued on there. Just be careful that you don't add any glue in behind here or here, because those pieces need to lift up so that your card can slide in. So I'm going to put glue along those edges, just right out at the edge there, and then just down the sides here and in the center. And when I get that done, I'll attach it on there. And then I have cut out this die twice, and that's in this sea salt green again. I'm going to glue that directly on top there, and I've also used this little die and this one to make this beautiful little panel that goes on top. So you really need to cut this out first and then tape this onto the die cut and run it through, and that gives you this lovely little panel here. So I'll glue all of this together and then we'll come back. When I was showing you how to make the pocket card, I showed how to fold both of these little pieces in behind each other, but now for this one I'm going to put these in, and then we're going to have these overlapping just like that, so that those two areas are actually sitting out on top. And you'll take this little die and cut that out twice, and I've done that in ivory card as well. And you can see there, if I show you it very closely, that there are two debossed lines here and here, and it is important because you need to fold those really well and crease them well on both of those score lines. You can just fold it back again, and it's actually quite easy if you put a little ruler in behind, but I find on a small piece like this you can actually just fold it over, and that will give you the dimension, because we're going to put a little key down in behind, so it's not one fold. You can actually see there that it's curled over, and it's got a tiny little flat piece in the middle, and you'll do that with both of those edges, and do that twice. I've already got one here, and you can see the dimension in that. So once I get this piece folded over here, I'll show you how to glue it together. Just fold that over, and there we are. So I'll show you the back of this. You will just turn this little piece in that has the curved edge on it, put glue on it there, and then over like that. I put a little pair of tweezers down on the inside of it there so that both pieces wouldn't stick together while the glue was attaching, and that holds it nice and firmly together, and still gives you that lovely little bit of dimension. So now we're going to just tuck these two pieces in, as I said, pop these over like that, and then you can center these, put the little bit that has the glued area, the back part I would call that, just put that into the back and have the nice flat area to the front. Fold that over like that, and then you'll align that one up there, and make sure the next one is perfectly aligned with that, and just go ahead and glue it onto the top tab. For the key then, I've cut this out twice, and I've also cut the little patterned part for the top twice as well and glued it on here. Those are the two little dies, and I actually used them together, and that gave me this little piece up here. And then I have taken the long part, which is this one. I've cut that out twice in obsidian blue, and I'm going to just glue those on there, and that should there's a little mark on that shows you exactly where that should go, so that will go on right directly into that debossed line, and I'll show you that closer up there. Now the key needs to be quite firm, so I have cut out another piece. You can see I've already had it glued on here and had to take it off because I forgot to glue my top parts on first. So I'm going to glue that in there, and then I will glue these both together, and you can see that I have used this little die and cut that out in sea salt green, and I'm going to pop that in. I've popped it into the middle, and that's really just to strengthen this. Now whenever you're cutting yours out, you'll need to just work out what kind of card that you're using. I actually had this cut out in ivory 300 GSM card to go down the center. It's going to make that just too thick, so try it before you actually glue it all together, because it's got to fit down through that little lock part that goes in the center of the two gatefold parts. So I'm going to glue this together here. And I've got a beautiful key. Now that key then will fit down through here. Just make sure that that bottom edge is really grabbed well before you try to pop it down through the two pieces. Now I'm just coming back to show you how I actually paper pieced this little piece. So I wanted to add a little bit of extra detail in there, and I took the die that I had used to cut this area out in the first place, and I set a piece of green card just in behind there, because you can see here that I've taken out these little green areas. So I have this here and here and here, and then in here the pearlescent blue, the blue cashmere, and I have paper pieced them in there. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing this time, and I'll just pop a piece of glue or a little dot of glue in here and here and here and along here, and I'll fill those little areas in to match this, and it just gives that another little bit of dimension, and it's actually really nice like this, but I thought the extra little bit of colour would be nice as well. There you are. It's actually not an awful lot of detail, but I think it just gives the card a little lift with that extra dimension in there and those lovely colours sort of bringing it all together. And so you just open the card up like this by slipping the key out from here, opening those up, and there you are. And your little gift card then will slide in between these two flaps here, just in there. So there's a possibility as well, if you have a little look at it, you can leave this area off and you can make an envelope as well. Just cut this little part completely off right across here and do the same here, and you'll be able to just make yourself a little envelope by popping this in, gluing that over the top, or probably be better looking that way, and then this comes down over here, and you'll need some way to attach that, but I would actually just put something like this on, maybe add that onto the top and put a little slit in behind. One other little tip is if you find these are a little bit tight to get the key in and out, just take this little die and put it down through the center of it and bring it out and in just a couple of times, and that will certainly give you a little bit of extra room in there. And do the same on this one. That's my little kit finished for today, and thank you very, very much to everybody who's watched. Don't forget that my affiliate links to everything I've used will be down below in the description of the video, and I'll get a little commission from that, but it doesn't cost you anything extra, and I always appreciate that as well. So until next time, happy crafting. Thank you. Bye bye.